Good morning, traders. Today is Thursday, May 8th, 2025, 9:38 on the East Coast. My name is Joseph. I'm with Smart Money Traders. I'm going to be talking about the markets today. We trade primarily ES and Q, basically the indices. We'll look at YM as well and live cattle. Thinking about incorporating maybe soybeans. Soybeans is very, very slow. Can be slow. Live cattle is not that fast either. So on the days that the indices are a little crazy, we look at the meats and probably the ags, as they call them. With that said, this is for educational purposes only. Not a recommendation to buy or sell any futures contract. No trading is risky, and you may lose all your capital even when you know what you're doing. So definitely proper education is a must to trade successfully, and have the proper capitalization is definitely a must as well. So with that said, let's dive into the analysis here. We're looking at ES going lower. This is the 30-minute chart. So ES is definitely going lower here. We know at 10 o'clock there'll be some news. I think President Trump saying that there's going to be some good news. I think in anticipation of that statement he made last night, it is kind of went higher. And right now we are pushing a nice support level. The 75 to 67 area. It's a nice support level. So we can definitely see a bounce here. If it makes sense, we may take a position. But again, we're going to be careful. We're going to be careful with the news. So we definitely are approaching support here. Sorry, NQ. Same thing. We're approaching support. We're going lower. Yeah, we got a bunch of support coming up here. Just a regular natural support here. This was resistance yesterday, and we got a couple value gaps to contend with. So definitely looks like we may see a bounce at those levels here. And I think I need to share my screen here with. All right, so yeah. So we got this happening here with NQ. So YM is probably gonna be the same setup. Typically those move. So YM is already moving higher. So that just tells me so far the YM is the stronger out of the three. So at the moment, things do change. Let's look what's gonna happen here. We're seeing the bounce already in YM here. We don't look at RTH that often, but let me look at RTH here, which is the Russell. Yeah, it's heading lower. If the other three are heading lower, I think YM is a matter of time that YM follows suit. This is NQ. As you can see, there's a little weak developing here. So meaning we may see a little bounce here too on NQ. And lastly, we're gonna look at LE here. LE kind of started to go higher. And there you go. LE is going higher. I think yesterday was a flush to go. Okay, there you go. So when you look at this area here, that's what we got yesterday. Get into this fair value gap and we bounce. And right now, this fair value gap here, bearish fair value gap, we got we open wide above it. So normally something like that would serve as resistance. So if it's booking, it might be serving as support. So I think early today, we're looking to buy it and see if we can retest those high to 14. But yesterday, definitely got cut up here. I went long here in early. Again, in hindsight, everything looks like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. By the time there was momentum to the downside, I'm like, okay, we're probably going to go higher here on early. But that's not what happened. Because when you look at this here, this is like almost like a low box going on here, So yeah, touching that box here and going lower might be a way actually. So we're just gonna wait for Ellie today. We're gonna be very good morning YouTube. Good morning. So we're just gonna wait for Ellie here. It looks like we hit this box. And I got the 30-minute chart here with this big chop box up there. We hit it. It looks like it's serving as resistance. So we're gonna give it some time. We're below the VWAP. If we were to, because what happened here, we got another higher high here, but the higher high, there wasn't much follow through to it. There was a couple ticks higher. Typically, those are set up to go lower. You know, it's almost like, okay, we're gonna take you up to drop you. You know, get some people. And let's look at the order flow here. Looking at the order flow, nothing particular. Now we do know, this is what we know. We do know the cumulative delta is going lower. So we went from 124 was at 155, going a little lower. So let's look at this now. This is NQ in the middle here at the bottom. NQ is going lower. So right now we're just gonna have to wait. It's 9:45. Got 15 minutes to the press conference. I think President Trump is gonna be doing, talking about trade, what's happening. He's saying there's a big development happening. We'll have to wait. Ellie definitely pointing to the downside at the moment. So that's something that we got to keep in mind. Again, we would want to see a pullback and move lower. So they're attacking the low of the day. Yeah, attacking the low of the day here. So let's see if we can get a pullback downside here on LE. If they go back and test 213 again here, that might be a goal. The equities are definitely heading, wants to go lower here. Let's see what we're looking at here for. This is ES. Yeah, I think heading lower here, like I showed on earlier on ES. We're heading toward that nice support zone. I think they're setting it up in a way that they're gonna bring it down here to that support before they bounce it higher. If they bounce it higher, we can't say for sure. But look at ES here. We're heading that nice support zone here. This is a nice support zone between 75 and 68. So we can play in this area for a while here. We can even get to 60, and then move it higher. Now, also for the day, if you're looking at the fib, that's probably the golden zone as well. Yeah, between 50 and 68, 61.8. That's the golden zone right here. This is what they're entering right now. So seeing a bounce here could be a nice thing. And also, one thing that when you look at the market, look at where we had like some kind of transfer of power. See, here we had a transfer of power right here. See that? Right there we had a transfer of power. This is when the bulls were moving higher. Then the bears stepped in. They drove it down 84 to about 15 points. So again, this could be an area of they could be bouncing it right here. Look at this big wick that got into that zone. This is a nice, an interesting zone. Look at this. Everything that got in here got rejected. So if it was that strong of a resistance, look at this. Maybe a strong support too. Let's just wait and see here. Yes, definitely has a chance to pop a little higher here. So we're getting into that zone here. So LE, we want LE to go back to 213. If LE goes back to 213 and we get a little reaction to the downside, then we might engage short here with LE. Because LE yesterday closed at 212.42.5. So at least I think they got a chance here to go. They got to 212.97.5 at the moment. And that little pullback to see at least some. And 212.95 is swap. So here's the little bounce we said we could see here on ES. It's 9:51. It's before the news. And also it's really close to the news here. So I think I'm not gonna be too crazy to participate in ES here. So I'm just gonna wait for a setup on LE here and see what we can do. But clearly we identified that zone way before that. Hey, that zone could be a bounce zone here for ES. The same is at 96.75. Meaning here right now we really should be favoring shorts, but based on the circumstances, if we make a no low here, we may go lower. If not, or even a lot of times they're gonna make a no low to get people short here. But at the moment, honestly, because it's kind of too close to 10, but really this could be a nice little long right here. And we're seeing NQ doing the same thing, kind of bouncing higher. 74.5. Stop would be about 69.5. 5-point stop. Let's keep an eye on LE here. We're couple ticks away from 213. Let's see what happens. Also, I'm looking at the market internals on ES. Obviously, it looks like the big boys are positioning themselves to go higher based on those market internals. Now, sometimes there's a little delay in the move. It doesn't mean all green is gonna go straight up. But at the moment here, we're seeing the buying is present here. Okay, we're at 97.5 on LE. Definitely ES here. That base here would look like we might be going higher. It's gonna take some patience this morning. Every morning really. It takes some patience. That's trading in general. Trading almost is a game of patience. It's just waiting. Most of the time, we're gonna be waiting. I think a lot of people think trading, when they look at trading, they look at it from a traditional point of view of working. And trading, the less work you do, the better. Because the heavy lifting will be done by the market. I'm not gonna be moving those prices higher or lower. The heavy lifting, you want to let the market do it. So all you need to do is the planning, the preparation, and jump in when it's time. I think here, if we get a couple more ticks to the downside here on LE, we may engage short here and see what happens. As a matter of fact, LE here, we're probably gonna say, I know we're close to the low. That's another thing, but look at ES. Again, if you just got in at 74.5 right now, you up 4.5 ticks. 2.5 points, sorry, which is 14 ticks. First target would have gotten hit. I didn't get in because it's too close. To my liking, it's close to 10 o'clock, especially on a news day like today. So after Trump says whatever he's going to say, we're going to have to let this market settle because this market is still under the influence of news. Okay, at LE here, we're seeing some movement to the downside. Let me see if I can. I'll just here. I'll trade. Got call the entry for 74.50 here. Definitely up 6, about to be up 7 points from the time I called it. Again, look at this bullishness down here. This market internal is telling me, hey, we want to go higher. Now, it doesn't decline when I look at it. It's kind of like going sideways. I think, yeah, they're getting what they wanted. At least I think the reaction might be at the beginning. A reaction to the upside. So it wouldn't surprise me either to see a move past those lows and then bounce higher. Because if you got long up here at 81, 80, you definitely a week long. You may see something like, a move down here and then a bounce higher. That's what we may see, like this. In the meantime, LE is still kind of ranging here. Nothing. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart LE on a different screen. The last 4 minutes, I've been like, the last 3 minutes, I've been like, dojis. That's going to be a little 80 here. We might engage short on that. There you go. If I had my, I think we may come back here. I'm going to put my order right here to go short, Nelly. 82.75. Let's see if we can. It's been ranging here for 70 to about 10 ticks. All right. It's 10 o'clock. There's nothing really significant have been said yet. So we're coming back. We're going higher here on see if we can get filled here on cattle. Live cattle here. Also LES bounce at the value area, which usually could serve as support. One of the reasons the market doesn't trend a lot of times is the market always like to stay in balance. And when there's an imbalance, that's when the opportunity happens. So when we get past those levels, typically you're going to see a reaction, either a reversal or will a straight move up or down for a little bit. The market doesn't move straight up or down. Temporarily, you may see a parabolic move. Now, we didn't get back to the zone, but we kind of test back again. 77 on ES is resistance. At some point now we're becoming support because getting back down, breakout support, now become resistance. A little bit of resistance here because we got a little push down, but now it's serving as support. So This market looks like it wants to go higher. LE here we may miss. I don't know if we're gonna get fill here. Hopefully we do. And if we get fill here, we're not gonna even risk the whole 21 ticks we usually risk. Probably gonna do 15 at the most. Let's wait how it goes here. All right, we got fill on LE here short. Remember, my emergency stop is in place here on top of the high, but we'll really just have it there. As it's called, it's an emergency stop. This is not too good here now. Just be another one and done like we had yesterday. So we're down 9 ticks at the moment. So let's see. Obviously the better short was 213.05, but I went short here because thinking hey, this was gonna give us a couple ticks pullback to go lower, but obviously it's giving us a deeper pullback here. But again, our stop is still safe right now. I'm gonna keep the emergency stop in play right now, but we're looking at here 82, 211, 82 and a half is the target. A 21 tick stop for let me see here. Yeah, definitely. But right now we're moving lower. It shows that we may be going lower here. I'm sure this bounce here got some people long. Hopefully the bears keep pushing it lower here. Let's see what happens. We see the equities are going lower here. Because the way the market works, let's think about ES for example. Everybody think, okay, Trump says there's going to be some good news and people are positioning long. I'm sure that's probably ahead of that. That's what they did last night. And you see at the open today, we had some selling, people taking out, getting out of the position by selling the longs. So I think right now too, since people were positioning long, there's a good chance the market goes to the downside first and then go higher. So LE is definitely moving away for now, at least 5 ticks. So see if we can make a new low and we move down to this. Yeah, there you go. We're getting to the low here on LE to the left. Yes, again, it's going lower. I'm not surprised because it could be a setup to go higher here. Or whatever President Trump is saying, the market may not like it at the moment. Because a lot of time when you say there's going to be good news, and if the market eyes this is not good news enough, if the news is not big enough or it's not good enough, it's all about sentiment. It's all about expectation. That's why sometimes you see good news, market goes down on good news because it wasn't good enough, or it goes up on bad news saying hey, it wasn't bad enough. Right now what we're seeing on this here, it's nothing that was surprising, really not. And technically too, when we look at the Raptor system, we got a couple of nice signals here. This was a nice short. The last couple of short signals really worked pretty nicely. And I want to say something about the trading systems. I think I've been talking about that the last few days. Had a couple of shorts coming out about trading systems. One thing with trading systems, people have a hard time sticking to one or even obeying one is the fact that sometimes more is going to happen and the system will not say to take a trade. If I'm looking at the market here, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a misprint, but 6, 7, 8. We got 8 signals here on this screen. As you can see, it's only all the moves that happened. All this move that happened, there was no signal. So you're just going to be okay with that if you're going to follow it. If you're just like a system trader. I mean, for me, I have a holistic approach to the market. I look at systems, but I know the limitations, and also you got to trade them in context. So this move happened here to the upside. I was saying, hey, we might see a move to the upside here. Call it 74.5 long. Stop below here. You missed this move. Let's say we were trading the system. You're like, oh, the system missed that. It just wasn't part of the conditions for it to give you a signal. So you got to be okay missing those moves too. That's why sometimes people are they have FOMO. They like, they have that fear of missing out, and they go and jump and any little move the market does without really following the system. If you're a system trader, you gotta definitely be okay missing some of those moves too, knowing that hey, the move's gonna happen without the system telling me. Also, the system will take losses. Like if I'm trading this, This is basically a loss here. This is a short. Long here, I probably at break even. This is nice. You know, this the signal here. It's only signal when you see the number one. For some reason, this is a secondary, but the primary signal here, this was a nice signal to the downside. This one too. So as long as you can keep your losses smaller than your winners, in another sense, your winners bigger than your losses, you'll be fine. And the frequency also. Sometimes, if you get more winners than losses, then you can afford to have like a upside down risk reward. But systems have the limitations. So you just gotta know, hey, I'm the captain. You're the one that's in charge of that. So right now, again, seeing this move down here is nothing to, we call that long up here, but we say, hey, we're probably gonna go down here and get some people short. Now we are approaching support at 54, 57 and a quarter on ES. 57 and a quarter can definitely be support. Let's wait and see how that does. Now LE here, we up a couple ticks on LE, which is live cattle. When the market is going kind of volatile like it is right now, we tend to go and trade something that's a little less volatile, like live cattle. All right, somebody has a question here. Yeah, LE here, we're looking at the lower move on it. Go to my 30-minute chart where I draw a little box here. So what we're doing here on LE here, we had the box form between the last couple hours from Tuesday. Yesterday we had that little box here. Tuesday and yesterday, that box was kind of formed mainly on Tuesday, and yesterday we had to move down. So right now we hit the box, this was support here, now serving as resistance. So we expect some movement to the downside here on LE. Is it gonna happen? We don't know. But here right now, ES is selling off. That's a big wick right here. ES is selling off at the moment, but we're hitting the support zone. So this is when a bounce is definitely possible. Well, when you see those candles like this on the medium range, that means it was so fast you couldn't even draw it properly. So if I go in here, maybe there's some zeros in here. See that? All the zeros on the order flow. I mean, it was so fast, even Ninja couldn't really record all the transactions. Seeing this going higher like this and test it and going lower, that could be a sign that we may see some higher movement from here. That could be the bounce point here. Like this is the fix might be in. So what LE, to answer your question, we're bearish on LE at the moment. Let's see what happens. Something below 212.50 here, we probably could try to move to break even. Virtually our stop is up here at 12 and a half, which would be about 12 ticks. Right now we're risking 21 ticks, which is an emergency stop. So right now we're pushing to the lows here on LE. There you go. This is exactly what we want to see. We want to see a push down here. Now this is a little pivot right here. I'd like to see a couple more bars down here before I feel comfortable. Now I can definitely move. I'll move down here to 12 and a half. I can move down here to 12 and a half right here. Feel comfortable doing that. But here, ES looks like we're bouncing higher here. So definitely be careful on ES. And this is last night when I started that, first thing I said, hey, I'm going to stay away from the equities. And if this LE trade works out, even if it doesn't work out, honestly, I may just call it a day too. Make it a one and done, like I've been doing, like I did yesterday. So let's wait and see here. Yeah, because that first aggressive move was to the upside. That's why I said, they come back here and get some people. Because the first aggressive move here at 10:13 was to the upside. Then they come back and came back where the move started. Us going higher here it's a high probability we may be going, especially the market was anticipating, good news. So that's why when I said, go back here, I said, if you got long on 80 here, you're a week long, they're going to come back and tag you out. And that's exactly what they did. They came back to 60, 59. So right now Then moving this baby higher. That might be the low. We're above the clouds here. That means we're bullish. The filter is blue. Meaning on the higher time frame here, we're looking to buy. Nice. Those signals were really nice. So let's wait here on here. Today we're definitely not gonna take a full loss like we did yesterday. If you're trading ES, you're definitely long. I'd definitely be looking for longs at the moment. I know it's uncomfortable right now. It's uncomfortable if you're trading ES, but honestly, it's a little long. Because I'm in the early trade already, so I'm not gonna try to go long ES, but to me, ES here is a long. But if you're weak long, you may get shaken out. That's the thing with this market. Let me know how you guys doing. What position that you guys in? I know Jimmy's saying it was hip, which is hand in pockets. So on a pullback here going long, yes, does make sense. Now we're up at least. I think we're up about 10 ticks or 11 ticks. 2.5, 12 ticks up. So we reduce our risk from 21 to 12. So let's see what happened here. Yes, here any pullback, any selling is it's an opportunity to go long, in my opinion. Once you get above the cloud here, this was an entry long. This could have been an entry long. All right, let's do a little scrape here so we can see. We're not doing too well on LE here. We're not doing too well. What time is it? It's 10:22. We'll move our stop prematurely here because I'm looking at the 30-minute here. There you go. We'll give it one more tick here. So we'll risk 13 ticks instead of 12. Yes, right here. Yes, to me is it's pretty clear at the moment. Again, we gotta be careful with getting whipsawed here. I think if we get taken out of this, we may try a long on ES. Well, LE got taken out again. Yeah, LE's a small range today, definitely. It's still early. It's only 10:20. You can see right now, we see the filter going back and forth in colors. That means we're ranging. There's no sustained direction here. Definitely would still favor the long here. It would favor the long on the ES. Since we didn't take a full loss on LE, I think we may try the long on ES here. Yeah, but we need to pull back. We would need to pull back here. I'm gonna chase this. Give us a pullback. And this was resistance. Now we may serve as support. I'll switch our focus here to LE. I'm into ES. I think honestly, I thought this market was gonna be crazier than it is right now. I don't think it's really that bad. If you can pick your spots here, you might be able to trade this. This is tradable. We need to pull back to engage here. Pull back. Hopefully to this band at 74. If we can get a pullback to 74, that would be great. Let's see. LE's going higher. Looks like they're gonna make them high for the day. For ES, for us to engage in ES here, we need to pull back. Well, I guess that was the pullback. There's 2 bars here because as you can see those wicks here. Now we had a pivot on ES, so definitely could be if we get back to 77 or 74, that would be ideal. Again, we saved some capital here with LE. LE is going much higher. So instead of 21, we lost 13 ticks. Okay, so there's the pullback on ES here. If we can get something going higher here. We're right at the pivot though. I don't like that. We got a big green background here. There you go. We want pullbacks right here. Definitely want pullbacks. That's what we're looking for. When you got a direction going. Okay, do we have? Oh, ES was a little behind. I was trying to get long with a buy stop limit. It's telling me I was below that. Let's wait for. I think we may get a deeper pullback here on ES. If we do, I'd like that better. Yeah. It's looking like we may get a deeper pullback here. If we do, I'd like that better. Now, the Geiger counter is going to the negative. And here we got some selling pressure here. Still neutral. The needle itself is neutral, but it's pointing lower. So, there you go. Now it's pointing higher. Look at LE flying higher here. Well, we've been out of sync with LE here for the last couple of days. So he came back to that swinging target. So, and also we're approaching VWAP, which is a very important level. The overnight VWAP is at 85. Visiting it is a big possibility here. Also, we had the POC for the day, so we can see why we're having all this I think we're gonna put a buy stop here in case we push higher here. See if we can consider the Geiger counter going into the green here. Okay, order got canceled because we got negative bar on the Unirenco. So we're gonna try this again here. Got canceled. We still wanna go long here. I think right now we getting buy and sell here. There you go. We got fill. Emergency stop at 75.75. So if we move higher here, we may see four. At least get to the first target here, and we may even give the second one a little better, a little more room to move higher here. I think right now we almost at break even. Got one more tick here. I think we're gonna have to reduce our risk here. Let's reduce our risk below here at 3 points. So there you go. We're at break even. At least this trade is gonna be a break even trade. There you go. We got the first target got hit. So we're seeing we're moving high. 86 was the first target. Was 86 and a quarter was the second target. So if the stop get past that, everything else will be gravy. There you go. There you go. So we captured 3 points on the second contract, which is 60% of what. Okay, we got tagged out here. I think we may still want to go higher here. Let's see. The worst, we're gonna get all the order cancel here. We got the VWAP, and we're seeing a lot of. So we got taken in here. Long. There's a little bit of delay here in my ES. Let me see. Yeah, I do have some delay in the ES here. Okay, it's coming. Yeah, can't be trading. ES has a little bit of delay right now. 10 ticks right now. We're down 8 ticks. Because we don't know exactly where we are. We're gonna put this down here a little bit for now. But keep an eye. ES. What do I need to do to get the ES back here? Please, I don't even know where we are. A minute and a quarter behind here. Let's see if I can close some chart quarter. I'm doing that not because I know I'm behind. And this thing did 2 minutes. Yeah, I think I might have to restart Ninja here. All right, taking out here. So everything else is working fine. Well, so I have to really stuck to my plan not to trade the equities. Look at what our friend Ellie is doing. Ellie went up. I mean, they would have definitely tagged me out here anyway. So they went higher, not to go lower. The log is definitely getting better on ES. I didn't add any more charts than I usually have. I'm just trying to see, and everything here is kind of essential to what I do. Got to 71 and bounce. ES, yeah. Get back to that band again. All we have to do is just wait for the band to buy long again. Is that what this was? Yes, it's catching up here. Once again, this is one of the things. Sometimes I looked at this right here. We had the VWAP for not the VWAP, but the nice average here. Fair value gap up there, so we can see why we got sell. We sold there. ES is getting back to normal pricing here. I mean, the pricing, the data is getting back, catching up to live. So we're moving lower. Is the direction that this. Look at Ellie. So it's kind of frustrated. Well, yeah, we went short. Would have definitely gotten us to the max loss. So I'm glad they only get us out there for 13 ticks. But well. Because I was in the trade, that's why I didn't want to disconnect. But yeah, I could have disconnected. That's what I wanted to do. Yes, this is resistance here. This blue line. If we don't get past this level at 78, yeah, we're definitely gonna see some kind of movement to the downside. More down. But 60. Let me see. 68.5 is the value area low. So this is the boundaries of the value area low. So I would definitely be careful going short here. Yeah, I was in the trade. So basically, one of the reasons I give it so much room is because I was behind and I already knew that my stop was going to get hit. Sometime I was hoping for a recovery here, but hey, which didn't happen. But definitely right now at the moment, looks like this band is holding above 78. I think we may be going higher. The Geiger counter is going to the green. So meaning here we may see, not yet. Let's see, because there's more aggressive selling here in the top left, but the aggressive selling is getting less and less aggressive because we're getting buyers kind of erasing those imbalances. There you go. Some selling here. I think we may tap it along right here. We had this base. Geiger counter is going to the positive here. That'll be the last trade for the day. Win, lose, or draw here. That'll be it for us. If we break this pivot here. If we're getting a little bit of delay here again. Yes. Yeah. getting back to the positive side here. Yeah, first target should have got hit already because we got a little delay, so that's gonna happen. And give this a little. Well, at least let's get to the VWAP, which is at 84. 84.16 VWAP. Because of the delay, that's why I did that. Okay. Because it's doing this here, we might. Because it's doing this, I think we're gonna trade manually here. I'm gonna put let me see my other screen, and because we're having, it's really killing me. Shouldn't be trying to trade with this. Let's close it manually here because we're gonna get a pullback. Well, with delay and all, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream. Not my best trading today when it comes to just even staying away from that. Then get a full loss on LE. I'm like, okay, you know what? We're gonna try to trade this again, but LE here, as you can see, was gonna be going the way we thought it was gonna be at first, but timing wise we're off. Obviously, lost 13 ticks there, and we lost a bunch on ES. But tomorrow will be a better day. Hopefully you did better than I did. Trump speaking, the market is not fair, but with the delay, definitely was a tough one today. We got technical difficulties, one, but also there's the fact that I think the major thing here is stay with my first mind, which was, hey, stay away from the equities. So that's kind of crazy. Let's look at LE one last time here. So one last time. Wow. Steve called 56.50, so we may get there. But as you can see right now, I'm not anywhere close that because I still have that delay. Got a couple minutes delay here, which again, I only this is my VPS, so I gotta look into why I'm having this much of a delay here. I do know I have some 2.5 minutes. Yeah, ES is behind. You see what else is behind? 6E, ES, and NQ. But everything else is all right. So, hi YouTube, thank you for being here. We'll be streaming here tomorrow, hopefully with better result, and just really sticking to the original plan would have definitely been the better thing to do here today. Which was, nice or easy to say, but I could not let my unwanting to trade ES take over. That's what we got here. ES is okay. The delay is coming again lower, but thank you, YouTube, and see you guys tomorrow, hopefully with a better result. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right.